Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 8 of Scion of the Dark House. Just as a reminder, this is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Gothic horror podcast, meaning that there are creepy and scary things like blood, violence, the undead, gore, body horror, and other
Kyle's
things.
weird mask.
Oh, yeah, that too. Sometimes our props might be terrifying. So if there is anything that crosses a line, feel free to step away or take a break. Your support is much appreciated, but we do want you to have good mental health as well. I've made sure to know the players' lines and veils, so be aware of yours. So in the previous episode, it seems that after the group left, minus Rerek, who is still not here, leaving Rerek to chat with the members of the Divination department in the Staff of Night, you confronted your mother and a long-hated superior at a croquet luncheon, which you disturbed with a cute cat antic of her jumping up on the table and rolling around. You then went to check on Franklin, got paid for your job, or at least part of your job, and ran into an interesting character named Dove, who informed you that there was something funky going on with a bookshop that seems to move from city to city, whose products drive clergy mad. You ended up finding the shop quite easily, as it was basically hidden in plain sight, entered and did some investigation, did some charming, and managed to worm your way into the back of the shop, where you saw the scribes working away at their books and managed to steal a vial of ink before making a legitimate purchase and walking out. You guys are currently on the way to a tavern known as the Downed Falcon, where you are possibly going to stay the night or at least fill your stomachs. And we begin our episode there.
I would be shocked if by morning the place is not burnt to the ground. Just saying.
I'm sure they have stew. I'll push the door open to the Downed Falcon.
It's a very nice place. It is at the very, very edge of the outer city. So there is still kind of a little bit of the mine dust that seems to be everywhere, but this place seems pretty clean. It's definitely famous for its hospitality. You would know it's run by Maggie and Robin, a lovely couple with their son. I forgot what his name was. With their son, Jacques, who run the place. It's very warm and inviting and comfortable. And yes, there is definitely stew cooking. You can smell it as you come in. And Maggie, who seems to be the shorter of the two, they seem to be kind of diametrically opposed. Maggie is kind of short and rotund and frumpy, whereas Robin is very tall and thin and that sort of thing. They're very easy to tell apart. And of course, Jacques is running all over the place very excitedly as you come in, and Maggie approaches you. Oh, welcome to the Downed Falcon. What can I do for you? Rooms? Stew? There's plenty of stew. It has beans in it and plenty of pork.
Oh, lovely. Yes,
What would be
that.
Oh, of course. Just make yourself at home. There's plenty of tables. And she kind of runs off to the back as Robin approaches. Would you like a room tonight?
Yes, please. Arthur, do you want a separate room per usual?
Please, yes.
2 rooms, please.
Wonderful. That'll be 5 silver pieces a room for the night. That includes the meal and, a breakfast in the morning.
Ooh,
Percy hands over 5 silver.
same.
That will be one room, and the other. Thank you. I believe Maggie will be coming out with the stew very soon.
Oh, and a mug of ale if you don't mind.
Of course. And she goes in the back. And of course, Maggie does come out with these big sort of bowls of stew. They are very large bowls of stew, and she, ooh, it'll fill you all right up. Wonderful. Is there anything else that I can get you?
I think that should be all for now.
That's all. Thank you.
And she runs off to the back.
I told you guys this
And-
place was great.
Robin comes out and she gives you your mug of ale. Is there anything else that you would like?
First, fantastic. Thank you.
Wonderful. I would hope so. Maggie made it. She's a wonderful cook, isn't she?
Mhm.
And she kind of walks away after leaving your mug of ale.
Where do they? Lark's just looking at this bowl of soup, and he's just, how do they expect people to eat all of this? Your portion control is insane in this city. A mug of ale at the vampire bar.
I'm not complaining.
I'm sure the cat would be happy to finish whatever you can't.
So, I mean, I was going to give her the rest of mine, but, you know.
Yeah, Jasmine probably doesn't touch the beans, but she definitely eats the meat. And it is basically, there's other things in it, there's other vegetables in it, but it's almost 50% bean and 50% meat.
Cool then.
It is chocked full. It is barely a soup. It is just so chock full of stuff. Once you actually get to the bottom of the bowl, there is no broth sitting in the bowl. It's, you are scraping little bits of sauce off the bottom of the bowl, basically. And it is very good.
Love that.
I don't know if
Well.
I'll ever get used to what constitutes food in this place.
Excuse me.
It's not
That
bad,
was
it's
fabulous.
just different.
Well, if anything, we're just glad the stew is better than the one we had back in Nashing. I don't know if
Ugh.
rather strapping bartender man knew how to cook at all.
I'm still traumatized.
Now, if that's all, I think I might turn in early for the night. It was a rather, well, fraught day for me.
Quite. I was just going to say the same now that Jasmine's cleaned that up for me.
In the morning, we can continue investigating these inks and pages and corruption and whatnot. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Good night, all.
Oh, speaking of morning, though, Arthur. Oh, not Arthur. Sorry, Percy. You look so much alike to me sometimes.
Yes, you've told me so many times, all humans. Yes.
When your magic comes daily from your distant god, yes, your Saint Hypatia.
Yes, I pray to her daily, and she bestows upon me gifts.
And back when we first met, I remember you could use magic to know if things were sick or poisoned. I feel that could behoove you to be able to do tomorrow.
Very well then, Lark. For you, I shall confer with my good lady.
Well, I'm off to bed.
Head on up. Do some good old praying after I get myself all ready for bed. Rearranging some spell slots.
Yes, and the beds are very comfortable here. You notice there aren't very many rooms, but the beds are bigger than what you're used to at most taverns. They're more comfortable, definitely cleaner. It seems like these people, Robin and Maggie, seem to frequently clean the sheets instead of when somebody does something in the bed, then, we'll clean it then. Which
Like
is
projectile
most
vomit.
inns and taverns. Yes. But it seems like they do actually wash these pretty frequently. They smell nice and clean. They're nice and warm. And you all find rest. Pretty peaceful. Nothing goes bump in the night. And the sun rises and morning comes, and you smell plenty of breakfast foods. Biscuits, bacon, porridge, teas, coffees, all kinds of things being made downstairs.
Oh, I am a slut for bacon. I imagine we wake up and Jasmine's just kind of like smelling what's happening downstairs and just like scratching at the door. Okay, we'll go. And I, open up the bedroom door and head down.
Yes. The breakfast is better than any other tavern that you've been to. The biscuits are large and fluffy. The bacon is really thick cut bacon. It is almost like Canadian bacon level of thick, and there's plenty of it. There's sausages, there's porridge, there's various drinks, coffees, teas, probably just apple juice of some kind, seeing as how they probably don't get oranges here very often. But yeah, there is definitely a lot for breakfast. You get the sense that not very many people come here so they can like really up the quality of things. They're not trying to speed things out the door. They have some time to make sure that everything is done right. So yeah, you get a big old breakfast, and she even brings out some extra sausages and bacon for Jasmine that she gives to her. And it just seems like a nice atmosphere here.
Before Percy heads down, he kneels once again, starts praying, and you can hear him maybe like being like, "And gracious mother, I pray for clarity on the visions you've been showing me in my dreams. And I pray for good health and good fortune from my compatriots and all of our friends. Amen." And I rise and head down to breakfast.
And of course, you're
staying at the inn with us. Like, are there any other guests at the inn?
It seems there are a lot of people that come there to eat, but not very many people come there to sleep.
Okay, I wonder what. Can Lark just randomly be talking to one of the other people there? Like, can just like, hello.
Yeah, I'd say that there's maybe like a family that's come in, a human father, human mother, with maybe a human daughter. And of course, the human daughter is like fascinated because you're a fairy. And the adults, knowing the legends about Fae and what they do, kind of, hover a little bit more closely around their child, but they're willing to converse with you.
Heck yeah. Why? So Lark's just talking to these random strangers, and he's just like, so why don't more people stay here? The service is fantastic.
Yes, well, we aren't travelers. We have a home here.
Oh, so you only come in for the food.
Yes, it is very good food. I'm sure you've eaten it. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a mage hand just holding a hunk of bacon in front of his face. He's just like, I understand what you're saying.
As big as his head, like.
I thank you all for your time. And he kind of just he winks at them all and then kind of just floats back when Percy comes downstairs.
Yeah, they kind of awkwardly sit down, but that kind of awkwardness vanishes when Maggie rushes out, bubbly, bouncy, with big plates of breakfast, going, "Ooh, deities, you look hungry," and starts setting like all these plates in front of them and things like that.
Wonderful.
Percy will sit down, start chowing down. After a little while, I was like, "Oh, well, I believe I've prepared a few spells that might help us in deciphering these inks. If you want to do that now."
Yeah, like what?
Well, can I see it?
Sure. Like
I'll take
pulls it out of his. Yeah.
And I want to cast Detect Poison and Disease on it.
Let me just real quick bring it up. I think I did not get the information that I needed. But yeah. Okay. So you cast Detect Poison and Disease. Are you doing this as a ritual or are you just spending a spell slot?
Oh, I didn't even know clerics could do rituals. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So you do spend 10 minutes kind of in prayer asking for clarity and that kind of thing. And as the spell comes to a finish, you all see him kind of a little bit, in that sort of focused, sort of prayerful like state as he holds it, his eyes kind of half closed as he kind of rolls it a little bit. And he gives a very visible start to the point where this chair actually scoots backwards across the ground. You feel like you've had a heart attack as you stare at this. You realize what this is. As the spell ended, flashing in your face is the vision of a screaming devil of some kind. You also witness underneath a blue sky that's sort of bathed in blood red clouds, these sort of red grounds as these two sides come together of these warring devils of all different horrifying shapes and sizes, ripping each other apart, blood going everywhere. This ink has demon ichor in it.
Yep.
Close proximity with demon ichor does all kinds of horrible things to mortals.
Yeah, so Percy just like puts it as far away across the table from him as possible. Oh yeah, it's
Percy, you look paler than usual.
It's demon. I saw demons. Demon ichor. I think it's demon ichor.
Oh.
What? How do they even get that?
I haven't the slightest idea how one would go about doing that, but we should get word to the dove right away.
Yeah. Some demon ichor to the clergy. What a it kind of does like a holy motion. Like
Yeah.
I love how we're exposing this conspiracy in front of a bunch of people just eating breakfast.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Well, that clarifies things a bit.
Oh, well, Herbert, he's not a demon himself, I can at least tell you that. If he was, he wouldn't have fallen for my charms that easily.
Well, he at least, well, do we think he's in on it, or is he a pawn?
Please. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Most likely.
That type of a man doesn't do anything by mistake.
We could have just killed him yesterday.
Yes, but all those poor people were witness, and I don't like to leave messes.
And the dove was very clear that she wanted no physical altercations. And if what Arthur's given us to go off of about her, I don't want to be on her bad side.
No, it would probably be unwise to cross her. I think I think we might need to pay Franklin another visit and see if he can deliver a message for me.
Right. Well, back into the belly of the beast then.
I know your favorite place in town.
Yes, I do
I
so
mean,
love Svetlana and her help.
Honestly, she's a very gracious host, and she's never been anything but cordial to us. She didn't
And
even
I think
require
she's single.
blood tie.
I think we all know that she's not exactly my type.
Well, maybe if you weren't so stiff. Just saying.
What is your type, Percy?
We will not be getting to that anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's fair. I think maybe after a few mugs of ale, we can circle back. At any rate, if you guys have nothing further, then I think time is of the essence, as they say.
Yep. All right. Let's head out.
So you were going where exactly?
Back to visit Percy's girlfriend, Lana, and Franklin, to deliver a message to Franklin.
The shovel and
Well,
spade.
yeah, have Franklin deliver a message for us, rather. Yeah.
Mhm. All right. You head back down. It's not that far of a walk. You're already in the lower city. There's a lot of dust still kind of rolling out as the mines have started to come alive and the workers have started to go in and begin to mine and that sort of thing. And you make it there pretty quickly. Luckily, you do actually see Franklin out front, standing on a little step stool, kind of fixing the sign, which seems to have tipped a little bit.
I'll use Mage Hand to help get the other side of the sign.
Yeah, you pick the sign up real easy, and it just goes right into place. And he kind of turns, and oh, lovely to see you again. As he gets down from the step stool and picks it up. Did you need something?
Paper and ink, if you've got it. I've got a message that you need that I would like for you to deliver for me. Please.
Oh, okay. And he quickly darts inside and comes back out with a pot of ink and a quill and some paper. And he just kind of waits.
Use the side of the building, I guess, to kind of scroll out a message, wave it in the air, hope it dries, and I'll pass him the letter and a handful of silver pieces. Please ensure that the dove gets this right away, and send someone for me, or come find me yourself when she responds. It is rather urgent.
Of course. Yeah, I'll get right on that. And he darts back inside.
We could just stay here and wait for her response.
No. I have no interest in waiting around. Patience is not my highest virtue.
I
and
agree.
At that, I don't imagine Percy would enjoy spending any more time than is required.
So wouldn't it have just been delicious if you had written that note with the ichor ink? Just
right, to poison the contact, of course.
Right. Yeah. Thereby eliminating any chance of me getting paid. And by extension, you.
And also eliminating our chances of escaping Darkmoor alive.
Well, probably that too, yeah.
So what now then, if we're not going to wait around here for a response?
Well, I think I've got a sword to pick up.
Right, yes. It's under the wizard's top hat, I believe. No, not that one. Yes, that
Something
one.
golden, something
The,
wizard top
the,
hat?
the
copper
copper
cauldron.
The copper cauldron, yes.
Copper cauldron. Yeah, there we go. That's the one.
Yes.
I'm not good at names. It's not my thing.
Scrolling down to it. Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's really easy to find your way back up again. And actually, as you guys are moving, give me a perception check.
Oh, lovely. Burp, burp, burp.
10.
Okay.
Credit it again!
Woo!
Wow.
Goodness. And what
I'm
does Percy
telling
get?
you.
17.
Okay. So yeah, Arthur and Percy, as they're walking through the streets back towards the high road where the copper cauldron is, you actually spot a sign. There's a small alleyway with a set of stairs that go down and a sign that has a sort of crudely painted mouse head that says in really weirdly childlike scrawled paint, "The Cuddly Rat," and
I
an
knew
arrow
it.
pointing down the steps.
That seems
So,
fortuitous.
yeah, that might be worth checking out.
Oh, after you guys pointed out,
Pay
Lark's
attention.
yeah, Percy's girlfriend did tell us that we needed to pay attention to the cuddly rat.
This is just the collective name for this horrid woman. Yes, of course. It's the
Well, she
cuddly
can be
rat.
your girlfriend or she can be my best friend.
What do we need from the cuddly rat now?
Well,
We have
at the
information, but it does
at the
seem
very least.
interesting at the very least.
I say we check it out.
Well, who knows? It might disappear tomorrow, so why not? Give some time to kill anyways.
Here goes nothing.
So you go down the stairs. And the stairs actually, they go down for a little bit and then they hook to the left with a blind corner. You go down again and there's a door and a window in this deep alley that seems really out of place. There's a light on in this place and another sign hanging kind of a little bit crooked that says "The Cuddly Rat," once again painted in a weird childish sort of hand. And you creak the door open. There is no bell. And this place is just heaped with junk. All kinds, there's pots and pans sitting next to what look like very fine devotional figures that are sitting next to like bicycles, and it's a mess. There is no organization. Everything is just thrown where it looks like an attic, basically. And you hear mumbling like, "Oh yes, yes, this is there," and as you hear this like clunking and thumping around in the back.
I'm just gonna look at the other two and just be like, "Hello."
Oh, yes, visitors. And he kind of hobbles out and he looks, but it looks like he should be looking at you, but his eyes are just whoosh, like chameleons, just in two separate directions. He's bent
That's
over,
unnerving.
long hooked nose, wild hair, dressed in just like what looks like basically a quilt that he like sort of like just tied to himself in various rags, and he's hobbling on a cane. And he goes, "Oh, yes, I was expecting you.
You were.
Yes, a lot of information, if I can just think straight. Give me a second, you three."
Is it human or
Looks human.
looks human? Okay.
Looks human.
I mean, okay.
It's like, all right, we'll be here.
I guess we'll just wait.
Oh, is there anything you'd like to purchase? Perhaps arrows would be good for you. No, wait. And his eyes kind of roll in two separate directions as they go, you haven't gotten that yet, have you?
What?
I'm all mixed up, aren't I?
Confusing the future with the past again, or what?
I do that a lot.
Okay. Wonderful. Haven't gotten
Yes.
what exactly?
A bow. Well, maybe I shouldn't spoil it, Arthur. And he kind of waddles away.
How? Okay, this is weird.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Pardon, friend, but what is going on in this lovely little shop of yours?
Damned if I know.
Oh my god. It's gonna.
You just
Oh my
sell
God.
odds and ends, it seems.
Yes. Odds and ends.
Right.
You mentioned something about a bow.
I shouldn't spoil it.
Can I cast detect magic?
Yeah. There are various magical items here in the shop. They're all over the place. Almost every single school of magic, almost all different kinds of strengths.
Gotcha.
Just various everything.
Looks
Not
like-
everything, though. Some things are not magical at all.
Okay. So just like to test the waters here, I guess. What's like the? Can I walk up to like whatever's giving me the strongest magic vibe?
It's behind a quilt that seems to be strung up on the wall. And you kind of pull it aside, but the quilt just falls down. And actually, could you give me, I guess it would either be an Arcana or religion check.
I'm guessing I'm probably gonna do religion. Let me check. Yeah, it's gonna be a religion check for me.
I figured.
That is a 17.
That's a Holy Avenger on the wall.
So Colton doesn't know what a Holy Avenger is.
Okay, it's like a really powerful sword. It's basically like Excalibur. Like, I think you have to have like a certain number of paladin levels just to wield it.
Right. So Percy would probably know like a legend in the scriptures about someone wielding something like this or something.
There's a few of these kind of kicking around, and there's just one hanging up on the wall.
Where did you get that?
That. I don't remember, but I can't sell it to you.
Why is that?
Well, you're not. It doesn't like you.
Doesn't like me.
Is that all?
Okay. Wow. So that is concerning on a number of levels.
Did
Mr.
Mom tell you about us?
I think what my companion here is getting at is you seem to be very well informed. So would you mind telling us
just
why
crazy.
it is you think we're here?
This is your first time here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. And he's just blanked, just staring.
Fantastic.
So you said there's things that are meant for us. Do you have any? Not that. Do you have something here that's meant for us?
Not this time.
Okay.
Excellent.
Would you happen to have a little information we could have, perhaps?
Maybe if I can keep things straight. And at this point, his eyes also just roll in a different direction as he's also trying to. You see the cogs just turning in his head.
And his eyes.
Svetlana told us his name, right? Or no?
The cuddly rat.
Just the cuddly rat?
That's
It
it.
appears to be the name of the shop.
Okay.
You were not given a name of the proprietor.
Can I call you cuddly or should I call you rat? Lark's kind of just floating around him.
Either or. I've forgotten my name.
Well, all right. You can call me Lark. Though I suppose you already knew that, didn't you?
Yes.
My friends and I are trying to figure out where.
Well, okay. I guess he's crazy. It's no big deal. Go ahead.
Arthur, do you have that on you still? Or are you carrying it, Percy?
Poison? Cusco's poison?
Cusco's poison. Have a llama label on it.
Someone's been drafting some religious texts using demon ichor infused ink. I think it's a hilarious little trick, but it's obviously causing problems for the humans around here. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you, Mr. Rat?
Maybe. And he kind of stares real hard, and his eyes at this point kind of shift back. And for a moment, they seem to line up, but then they cross themselves, and you see them vibrate for a second. And he goes, "Oh!" And his eyes just back in opposite directions. "Oh! The illuminated way! Yes! Dreadful, dreadful people. Yes."
What are they doing over there, Rat? Mr. Rat, apologies.
Oh, just causing chaos. Really. The last time I checked, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. I was waiting for him to say that, to be honest with you. Just chaos. That's it.
Yes.
Where are they getting ichor from?
Well, that I don't know. Do I? Do I know that? Have I forgotten again? Ooh! Would you like to buy something?
You told us
Are
that
we
we're not
allowed
ready
to
to
buy
anything
something?
Well, it depends on what it is.
There was mention of a bow. Circling
Not
back.
from me.
Okay.
What in your shop wants us to buy it? Other than a bow that you can't sell to Arthur so far.
Well, it's just not here.
That's incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Is there anything religious here that is also magic?
Yeah, there's probably like various little tchotchkes of some kind, as I frantically remember that it's selling shit. So now I have to pull up an item.
Inventory.
An item out of my ass. Yeah, there's definitely various items. That doesn't help. I'm sure there's something, as I wasn't. You can tell how much I prepared for this section as I frantically search for items. Okay. He kind of goes over and he pulls out, it looks like one of those sensors that they use to like disperse incense, but it has a big gold dent, like someone just hit someone with it. And he goes, and it definitely has magic. You probably still have like magico
Yeah.
vision up. Yeah, it's definitely magic. It definitely has evocation magic.
Neat.
Yeah, it has a bunch of evocation magic.
So I guess
And he
Percy
goes,
was
you
like,
can
so-
buy this.
right. What is it?
I think you hit people with it. Or
Well,
you use it for incense.
maybe both.
I've forgotten again. Ooh,
How much is it?
well, it's either 1 copper or 100 platinum. No. 2 gold? I don't know.
1 copper sounded good.
Okay. And he just hands you the flail.
I hand him 1 copper, looking very confused.
Ooh, thank you.
Advantage of the mentally infirm.
I don't know what's happening. Thank you,
Mr. Rat.
the rat.
May I propose a wager? You seem like a gambling man.
Perhaps.
Okay. So here's what I intend to do. I'm going to fire my bow at your pile of, I'm sorry, collection. At your collection. And if it hits a magical item, I'll go ahead and take that with me. And if the item that it hits is not magical, I'll owe you a favor.
Sounds perfectly fine. Those are the terms of the deal.
That's it. Okay.
All right.
Do you want me to roll for it?
You know what? Sure.
Okay. Just a straight 20, or do you want me to roll the bow?
Actually just roll me a straight 20. It's not gonna be hard to hit things in here.
Okay. Well, you say that. Critical failure.
Oh.
Critical failure.
You aim your bow at something that is probably magical. I mean, it looks like it would be magical. You fire the bow, and it's really weird. As the arrow flies forward, it's almost as if reality just shatters like a mirror, and the pieces move around like a kaleidoscope. And then when they refit together, the arrow moves and then hits a pot, and the pot goes flying. And he goes,
Damn it.
That's not magical.
No. Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Damn it. All
Did
right.
we all
Well, I
see
suppose
reality just break briefly?
I would say yes, you probably did.
my aim is not that bad.
in Sylvan, Lark's just gonna be like, Rat, are you like me, or what are you?
And he responds in Sylvan, I don't know what I am anymore.
Oh dear. Back to common, he's just like, this is an interesting thing, isn't it? Place, person, all of it together.
That's a word.
Rat, what would Lark's gonna reach into his pocket and pull out a seed. He's just gonna be like, what could I get in trade for this?
Many things, I'm sure.
I'm like half waiting for him to pull out a ham shank.
This pocket bacon.
Pocket bacon.
Lark to pull out pocket bacon, or this old guy to pull out pocket bacon?
Brilliant
doesn't
idea.
happen.
Why have I not thought of pocket bacon? Oh my god.
But that exchange doesn't happen. You just go, what can I get exchanged for this? And he goes, oh, many things. And then he just pauses, staring in the middle distance, like the conversation just ended.
Because he's crazy.
Rat? Mr. Rat,
Yes. Yes.
we were talking about me trading you. Do you know, trading you one of these for something in your shop? You care for the bargain?
Sure. What was it that you were trading?
One of those seeds that Lark always carries around from back home.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yes. I have. And he kind of looks around. And he just reaches into a random pot and pulls out a sort of green looking shard of some kind of crystal. This.
Ooh, what is that?
I don't know.
Well, I trust you'll find a good home for this little one.
Yes.
Give him the seed.
And he takes the seed and he pulls out this this like little cloche, this glass cloche, and he opens it up, puts the seed in, puts it down, and then pushes it back away as you watch the seed sprouts into flowers and that fill the cloche as he just pushes it back into his collection. Any other purchases?
Be careful of the thorns.
Yes.
As I see the plant flowering.
Yes, I'll end up sticking myself in about 3 weeks' time. Or was that 4 weeks? Or was that yesterday? Anyway.
Mark's just got this green shard and he's just like bites it a little.
It interestingly
should you be eating that?
No, he's not eating it. He's just doing like a quick little bite test just to be like, it's like magic, right?
Yeah, it actually kind of tastes a bit like home.
Oh. Do I see a school of magic on there with my magic eyes?
Let me read this.
Look with your special eyes.
Yeah.
Legolas, what do you see with your twink eyes?
Your twink eyes, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's definitely also evocation, a little bit of enchantment, a little bit of illusion, a little bit of divination, but mostly evocation. And it seems like magic seems to bend and warp a little bit weirdly around it.
That's a weird one. That's we should, when Rerek gets back, we should have him take a look at these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rerek. Is he still a wizard?
Yeah. Was last time we checked.
So?
He's
Let me check if I
archaeologist.
have something. I might have something. I think I meet him. Do I? Or do I die? I might have something. And he just kind of runs off. As I quickly look for something. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely time for you guys to like talk.
Okay.
Okay.
That thing is weird. Do not put it in your mouth.
It's a little bit late for that. I mean, that was okay. Is
Percy,
this how
I've got
all of your
weirder things
people
in my
examine
mouth
things?
before.
Oh dear God! Here we go.
Bending magic around it, I think. This is the first time I've done this. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Can't find the thing I am looking for.
Gonna
This
be
place
honest,
is-
not really looking forward to making good on that favor. I was kind of hoping that arrow would hit.
Well, it seems the universe had other plans.
Apparently. Lovely.
So he's like, you mean something like you, Lark? I heard you speaking in your fairy tongue.
Is Rat something like me? Well, interesting story. He's not sure what he is. He forgot. And, well, that does actually remind me of a few people from back home, but maybe he passed through this thing. Lark just kind of like waves it underneath his nose. He goes, I'm not just imagining it, but it smells a little bit like home. Like
You're a strange man. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that before, but yeah.
Yeah, at this point, he does come running back out, and he has just a regular looking crystal ball in his hand, about 6 inches in diameter. I think this will work.
For Rerek?
Yes.
Okay.
And he hands you the crystal ball.
Oh, we just get to have this one.
What was the price of that again?
I think it was 1 copper.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, okay.
And he gladly accepts your copper.
Well, it's
Fantastic.
been a pleasure, Mr. the Rat.
Mr. the Rat.
Rat, my new friend Rat.
Yes.
Should we go to the place that's the booksellers today or tomorrow or never? We went yesterday.
Oh, you already did that.
Yes.
Maybe. And he kind of like stares into the middle distance.
Insightful.
Yes, I tend to be very insightful.
I don't disagree. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions for our dear friend, Mr. the Rat?
I do, actually. Just one more, and then I promise we can go. Would you happen to have any barding for, say, a leopard? Gesturing at.
Maybe. Yes. And he runs back and he just turns around and whoop, pulls out basically new barding for your leopard. It is not magical.
Hey, I'm cool with it. That was quick. I wasn't actually expecting that. Yeah, I'll take it. How much?
One
wait,
copper.
let me guess. 1 copper?
Yes.
Nailed it.
And he hands it over and he takes the copper.
I'm going to assume that this is just like standard leather barding.
Yeah. And interestingly, as he's kind of looking at the copper pieces, you actually watch him like bite the copper piece and he pulls it out of its mouth and it's a platinum piece. And he just looks at it and he goes, ooh. And he flips it over and it's gold. And then he flips it back over and it's copper. Ooh. And he puts them in his pocket.
That is interesting. Okay, I'm gonna like just take a moment to like fix the barding onto Jasmine.
Which of course she lets you.
And I have to adjust her AC here.
It won't hurt anything if we do go back to stop the chaos. Right, Rat?
Oh, it'll hurt many things.
Oh, what'll it hurt?
People. Lots of them.
People
That's
causing
not
chaos?
cryptic at all.
Hmm?
I was just hypothesizing, I think you might say. Just wondering if we were going to be hurting the people causing the chaos or not, but that might be a little too much for you. to narrow down.
I guess it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, isn't it?
We seem to be in a lot of those.
The oracle has spoken.
So he has.
Let's go burn down a cathedral district.
Yes.
Oh
Ooh, that's happening?
no, no, it is
Maybe
not.
yesterday.
Oh, maybe it was.
Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing you when Arthur gets his bow, I guess.
Yes.
Maybe.
I'm sure you'll be seeing me a lot more. This is just the first time.
Good.
Oh, right. I forgot about the second time.
Wonderful. It's been a pleasure. But we really should probably be going to pick up a sword. And busy day.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Well, one more thing before you go. And
Mhm.
he kind of, gets a little closer with his cheery attitude. And right when he's next to you, Percy, you notice his demeanor changes entirely. It's bizarre. And also, it seems his form changes entirely. He puts his hand on you, and then suddenly it's a bird claw. And his face turns into a raven's face. And he has raven wings. And his eyes don't seem crazy anymore, which is really weird. And he
Yeah.
looks you directly in the eyes and he goes, "You are in possession of a cauldron that is about to overflow, and there is nothing that you can do." And then he lets go and back to his normal form. Ooh, that's exciting. Have fun. And the
Wait.
door swings open on its own.
Did either of us see that, or was that just
yes.
a Percy thing?
Yes, you all saw that.
I think maybe we should just go somewhere else. Just
Goodbye.
anywhere else. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the cryptic information, Rat. I hope I'll see you again.
You will.
Okay.
Oh God.
Get the hell out of here. Oh God, just crossing himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was intense.
Yeah, kind of picked up at the end there.
Is it one of those scenarios where when we get to the street, it's just like, oh, hey, where did that alley go?
Well, no, the alley doesn't seem to disappear, but the sign does.
Of course.
And now I need a drink.
That was utterly charming.
Charming. Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a word for it.
Sama, let's go.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Let's go somewhere else.
So Copper Cauldron or
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yeah,
Copper
let's do
Cauldron's good.
Wait,
So, yeah.
Copperpot is Svetlana, right?
No.
What's that?
Mm-mm.
No.
It's the
Copper
Dragonborn.
Cauldron's the Golden Dragonborn, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting my place.
Where I dropped off the vampire killer's head. Yay.
Hell yeah.
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 So you make it there pretty quickly. It seems that this place was close, although it probably won't be there next time. You make it there, and the shop seems to be opening up for the morning. The door has been unlocked and opened, and you see the Golden Dragonborn inside, fiddling with things, kind of straightening things up, and just going about his business.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I'm glad you came back. You didn't come back yesterday. I'm sure you had many things keeping you busy.
Quite. It was an interesting evening.
I'm sure. Well, we can talk about payment and ideas for exactly what you would want with the Strigoi beak proboscis would be the correct term. If you'll come this way, please.
Certainly.
And he lays out 2 different plans. It seems one is for a lance and one is for a short sword.
Okay.
Well, I haven't started on it yet, but I certainly did some research about these things, and they are quite powerful. Both of these would allow you to magically take the blood from other creatures that you attack, of course, and use it for your own purposes in a similar manner to these sorts of creatures. Of course, it just depends on how you wish to go about that, whether it's more at a long range, like the lance, or more short range, melee.
I think the sword is probably the way to go. Yeah.
Wonderful. And he kind of slides the sword over. And he explains to you, I'll just say it above game, that basically this sword would be a +1 sword. And when you reduced a creature to 0 hit points, you could, for 10 minutes, then use the sword to either add 1d4 acid damage to your next melee attack or heal yourself by 1d4. That would only last for 10 minutes after you dropped a creature to 0 hit points, and you could only hold 1 charge at a time.
Okay.
So that is kind
that
of
sounds
the
fantastic.
plan.
Or you could take it to Svetlana and be the pizza delivery guy. No, wait, we need to give that to Percy then to complete the roleplay fantasy.
Yes. Yeah. That way. Yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah. We know. Yeah. No, the sword sounds fantastic.
Wonderful. Normally a sword like this would cost probably around 100 gold, but since you left this lovely head, I found a variety of uses for different reagents and items, so I can probably bump it down to 25 gold.
Oh,
of course,
my.
we're reasonable here, so if you don't have that money now, you can put it on layaway. I believe that's what they're calling it now, where we would complete the project and you would pay for it in installments when you could, and we would give it to you when you are finished.
Nope. 25 gold sounds fine. And just passes the gold over.
All right. Well, it'll take about probably 2 weeks carving it, sharpening it, enchanting it, setting it, that sort of thing. It'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. But
Okay,
then you'll be
yeah.
able to come and pick it up.
Sounds fantastic. Perfect.
Wonderful. And he takes the gold and puts it away, and feel free to peruse the shop. I'm sure there's a variety of other things you might want to look at. And he goes and he starts jotting things in his book to make sure that he has all the notes.
After the exchange is done and that happens, Lark's just gonna be like, could I borrow your eye for a moment to the Dragonborn?
Oh, sure.
Does this look like anything to you? And he's gonna hold up the green shard that he got from Rat.
It looks like an emerald to me.
Huh. All right.
Why? Do you believe it is magical? Wishing to sell it?
Oh no, I wouldn't sell it. No, this is a gift from a new friend. I was just testing you. You failed. Thanks.
And he kind of gives you a scowl as you probably fly away very smugly.
Yep.
Now, about this time, I guess it would probably be almost an hour at this point. I'm going to ask you two, because you two, Percy and Lark, got items that allow for attunement. Do you want to have attuned to them?
Hell,
like 3 attunements, right?
You can have up to 3. So
Cool.
you have the brooch, which is only 1.
Yeah, I'll tune the boy. Let's do it.
yeah, I'm
All
tuning
right.
to it. I licked it already. It's mine.
It's mine. I licked it.
Oh my god.
So you, Lark, got a Feywild shard. This is both of these are from the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So you can attach it to anything, like a piece of jewelry or something like that. When you use a meta magic option on a spell while you are holding or wearing the shard, you can roll on the Wild Magic Surge table in the player's handbook. If the result is a spell, it is too wild to be affected by your meta magic. And if it would normally requires concentration, it doesn't require concentration in this case. The spell lasts for its full duration. If you don't have the Wild Magic Sorcerer's Origin, once this property is used, roll on the Wild Magic Surge. It can't be used until the next dawn.
Okay.
But basically, you have a Feywild shard. I'm sure there's some bootleg description out there that you can grab. Percy, you have a Devotee's Censer. It is a flail. The flail counts as a holy symbol for you. When you hit with an attack using this flail, the target takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. As a bonus action, you can speak the command word to cause the flail to emanate a thin cloud of incense out to 10 feet for a minute. At the start of each of your turns, you and any other creatures in the incense each regain 1d4 hit points. This property can't be used again until the next dawn.
Damn. This shit's good. I might ask you for that description again after the session.
Yes. And then I also have the description for the crystal ball, but Rerek, I'll give it to Rerek because he'll probably want to attune to it because it does some cool shit.
Right.
Yeah, it does some cool shit. And it will be useful. Yeah. So those are your 2 items, and you are attuned to them, you know what they do.
Wow,
I will
is
probably
pretty
need to
incredible.
reread that Feywild shard about 1 billion times because I already don't understand what it does.
Yeah, it seems very poorly written.
Yeah, it does. I was like, so you can roll on the wild magic table, but then half of the options don't work for reasons, but then if they do, then they work differently.
Well, you're the DM, so I think it's up to you, but I'm reading it through on Wikidot, and it's just like, so if the result of the wild magic is a spell, it is not affected by the meta magic you are using, and if it normally requires concentration, it doesn't require concentration in this case. So I guess it just triggers the meta magic table and doesn't require anything else, even if it is.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Your meta magic doesn't apply to whatever spell that you spawned out of it.
Right. So if you accidentally cast Fireball centered on yourself, you couldn't use your meta magic to affect that Fireball.
Yeah.
It just does Fireball.
That's my understanding.
And I think it happens each time you use your meta magic option. I think you choose to do that. I've already forgotten. Do you choose it or does it just happen?
It says you can roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. So you choose, and because I'm not a Wild Magic Sorcerer, I only get to do that once per day.
Okay.
Because once I've used it, I've blown it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. All right.
The rat seems profound in a number of ways, but these seem pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean, after we saw him just casually distort reality to screw Arthur over, I was expecting to have a bit of. He had his tricks, but Lark's got the Feywild shard in one hand, and he has his wand in the other, and he kind of just like and there's maybe just a spark or something as it just magically fuses to the end of his wand, and he goes, "This is going to be fun."
Yeah. And not
Sometimes when
only
you use
does it
magic-
like it doesn't just like fuse to the end of the wand, it actually morphs to extend the wand a little bit, as if it's made of that crystal, and it slithers down and almost makes its way into the wood as if it were just part of the wand the whole time.
Love that.
So your wand of pyrotechnics has the Feywild shard on it.
Oh, I never used the wand of pyrotechnics, so I was going to put
Or
it on.
was
the
it
wand
your
that started
focus
with.
wand?
Yeah, I was using my focus wand.
Okay, yeah. So it
one
works
that comes
into your
with the
focus
Feywild.
wand as if it were part of the wand the whole time.
For that wand of pyrotechnics, we're talking about using it to like throw it at somebody and cause a diversion. How much
Yeah.
this?
Don't forget that skipping stone.
We still have
Oh
a
yeah,
skipping
the
stone.
very important skipping stone that you're totally going to
Yeah.
use to beat the final boss.
Yes, we will.
Yes. I'm gonna do it, I'm telling you. All right. Well, until I hear back from the dove at some point, hopefully, that's all I needed today. So it's up to you two.
Right. Well, Lark, we've tackled something for me and something for Arthur. Do you have anything in the docket?
Well, I mean, are we going to go deal with?
Oops, technical difficulties.
Use together. Lark's just going to be like, are we going to go deal with the illuminated manuscript place, or does anybody else want to go help me destroy the fairy godmother? Fairy godmothers?
I think at the moment we're waiting to hear back from the dove, so
I think it would be wise to wait for her before we set a shop on fire. At least that one.
We're not going to set the shop on fire. We're just going to set her up for ruin.
Oh yeah, that I don't care about.
Saint Hypatia, forgive me, but I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Let's
ruin a cunty elf's day.
So on that note, we are going to have to end the episode. It's almost midnight. Hopefully, Rerek will be back when we next record, and we can have a little bit more magic in our group for magical shenanigans. Hopefully that little technical slip up didn't... hopefully that was a pause and not a stop. Oops.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you should still get both clips either way, right?
Yeah, I would. I just wanted them to be in
Okay.
a single recording and not have to try and cram them together in YouTube.
Yeah.
The joys of video editing.
I hear you there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you all when I see you, audience. We have some backlog, but we may have a gap in recording, but that's okay. We're still here. So we will see you all soon.
miss you already.